You're sitting through another pointless meeting. The boss rambles about collaboration and improvement for a project everyone knows will disappear soon. Your co-workers nod, faking concern. They're displaying interest, feigning involvement, pretending like their spirits aren't being drained by the glow of office lights in this hollow corporate maze. Suddenly something clicks within you. Do you see it? Really see it? It's all an elaborate act. Everyone wears a mask. Everyone pretends. Everyone reprises a role they resent but can't admit. The friendly front desk worker showers people with counterfeit cheer while counting the minutes until she can leave. The driven team member talks about loving the company, but secretly seeks opportunities elsewhere. The manager preaches work-life harmony, but sends messages at midnight. Everything is staged, all of it. And here's the shift. You can't shut your eyes to it now. What emerges when you grasp that your world is nothing but a scripted spectacle? What happens when going back to pretending is no longer possible? What does it mean if seeing the truth makes you forever separate from the lie? Now begins the lesson of why waking up to society's illusions is as much a blessing as a punishment, and why the one who perceives the act is condemned to solitude. Stage 1. Visualize this man with an ordinary existence. He works, spends time with friends, scrolls endlessly online. Life feels routine, standard, genuine. He follows a set pattern. Sip coffee in the morning, browse news, feign interest in whatever crisis is popular, proceed to work, exchange pleasantries, complete trivial chores, go home, watch shows, repeat the cycle. It's secure, expected, non-threatening. But one day, a small event occurs. Maybe his friend posts about her gratitude and joy right after griping about her unhappy reality. Maybe he spots his colleague faking excitement with a grin that looks forced in a meeting. Maybe he finds himself agreeing with an argument he doesn't support, just because disagreeing is harder. The tiniest split in the surface, barely significant, but it matters, because after spotting one flaw, every crack becomes impossible to ignore, and he sees them constantly. His real friend shifts personalities depending on who she's with. Obedient at home, unruly at parties, motivated at work. His rich friend is deeply in debt, but can't stop flaunting travel photos to keep up appearances. Happy coworkers complain when the boss is gone, but transform into model employees once supervisors return. The act never ends. Everybody deceives, everybody hides, and the unsettling part, they aren't aware of it. They've been immersed in pretending for so long, they confuse acting with authenticity. Stage 2. Imagine this man observing more closely. No longer skimming the surface, he studies how people behave. He listens beyond words to notice the gap between someone's statements and their actions. It becomes clear. Repetitive patterns, identical acts, a craving for acceptance that wears endless disguises. The fitness selfie shouts self-control from someone who misses more sessions than he goes to. Boasts dressed up as gratitude. False concern that's just an excuse to gossip. Campaigned outrage over topics soon abandoned. Social media becomes a contest. Everyone tries to look happiest, most prosperous, most complete, while secretly messaging about anxiety, misery, and the void. Work is elaborate drama, all pretending their pointless tasks have weight. Impressive jargon like stakeholder synergy and industry solutions describe chores few would remember if cancelled tomorrow. Meetings happen without purpose. Reports go unread. Acting busy is the main achievement. Friendships are built on recycled opinions and borrowed standpoints. Political indignation, cosmic awakening, intellectual curiosity, each role chosen for its rewards. Identical performances, just shifting scenes. Here's the revealing part. He's not resentful. He's just seeing the world as it is. The smiling neighbor is unhappy but must seem fine. The accomplished friend lives to impress those he dislikes. The spiritual colleague talks enlightenment but chases material gain. The family man photographs every event but neglects bonding. The feminist preaches solidarity but undermines other women in secret. He's not looking for the flaw. It appears on its own. Contradictions, double standards, hunger for validation, revealed in every conversation. Stage 3. The man tries to resume normality, enjoying small talk, joining activities, participating in familiar customs. He yearns to reconnect, reunite, reclaim the comfort of shared delusion. But something irreplaceable has changed. Coffee meetups morph into personality pageants. One friend plays tortured creative with crafted hardship and synthetic angst. Another poses as the big idea founder, name-dropping connections and exaggerating successes. A third flashes the identity of enlightened seeker, meditation and yoga props for a manufactured aura. Family meals act out practiced identities. Father, the all-knowing leader, secretly stressed about bills. Mother as charitable caretaker, secretly tallying grudges. Siblings stuck in their old labels long after childhood. Gatherings become games to see who seems most lucky, most successful, most joyful. People showcase careers, relationships, achievements, sorrows, all craving attention and acceptance. Even their problems are here for display. Too busy is a status symbol. So stressed is a method to look meaningful. Too blessed hints at envy with a veil of humility. This world is unchanged, but his view is transformed. He tries to join in, fake laughter, nod at nonsense, care about fabricated controversy. The more he does, the more it feels like violating what he knows, choosing pleasant fictions over unsettling reality. It's self-betrayal at the core, the unbearable conclusion. Once you understand the manipulation, the entertainment is gone. Stage 4. Imagine this man attempting to share his insight with others, trying to hint, just maybe, some things aren't genuine. He starts highlighting the obvious contradictions, the staged posturing, the urgent fakery now visible to him. Error number 1. Friends claim he's not just pessimistic, but antagonistic to their viewpoint. Because if he's right, then everything they rely on collapses. Their bonds, successes, joys, identities, a complete farce. Family dismisses his perspective as a phase, something he'll recover from. He's always too sensitive, overthinking, maybe depressed. Awakening, they believe, is an illness to be fixed. Colleagues call him distant. The man who used to be funny, involved, part of the game. Now he's reserved, skeptical, no longer supporting their collective fiction. It makes them uncomfortable. Why can't he just relax? Why dissect everything? Why not blend in and keep the peace? Their questions are demands. Demands to keep blind, to retreat, to stop threatening what makes them feel safe. Because if his words hold truth, if their relationships are performances, their achievements pointless, their emotions staged, their existence is a falsehood too frightening to face. So they isolate him, label him troubled, thereby proving his point. The more tightly they hold the performance, the more aggressive their resistance to anyone who exposes it. The one who has awakened poses a threat, not for causing harm, but for being correct, because precision is dangerous to lies. Stage 5. And so begins genuine solitude. The man realizes he perceives a world that no one shares. They see unity, he sees acting. They feel connection over passions. He sees unity over fantasies. They see truth and openness. He sees mimicry. They celebrate authenticity. He sees enactment of authentic behavior. They see meaning, purpose, impact. He sees complex distractions meant to fill inner emptiness. They find belonging and team spirit. He sees a collection of anxious people desperate to assimilate and avoid introspection. He's eternally alone in crowds. And worst of all, he can't translate his experience. To understand him, they'd need to see what he does, but that would change them fundamentally. Awakening leaves him stranded, alert, aware, singular, like being the only one to see color among colorblind crowds. He can describe hues, depth, beauty, but they will never truly grasp it. They aren't missing what they can't even conceive. They believe their fabricated reality is genuine. Their borrowed beliefs feel original. Their practiced emotions seem sincere. Any attempt to reveal the truth is met with outright resistance. They don't just misunderstand. They fight. They defend their fantasy as if it's life support. And in a way it is. Their self-image depends on these performances. Without them, they would have to face who they really are. Most would rather defend illusion than confront themselves. So, he stops trying. Stage 6. As the man abandons artificial exchanges and empty ceremonies, he is noticed. He's accused of being antisocial, negative, withdrawn. He was fun. Now something seems off. Their perception is mistaken. He's not distancing himself out of resentment. He's preserving his honest awareness. Every hollow small talk feels agonizing. The weather? The latest episode. Some trivial celebrity gossip. These are words intended to fill time, not thoughts. Online posts swamp him. Carefully displayed highlights, fake humility, exaggerated outrage, synthetic sincerity. Each time someone claims to care about what's unimportant, something inside breaks. His co-workers get excited about promotions that add to the monotony. Friends spin drama about toxic relationships, endlessly milking victim roles. Family obsesses over image, never over substance. The withdrawal isn't surrender, it's survival. He won't return to pretending. Some close their eyes, try to forget, and slip back into the show without regret. It's simple, it's safer. He cannot. The truth has shaped his life. He'd prefer solitude with truth than company with lies. Facing emptiness honestly beats masking it with distractions. Integrity in isolation surpasses connection by deception. This is how exile becomes unavoidable. Society has no use for the one who stops performing. Stage 7. A lesser-known aspect. Society protects itself from threats. When someone discards the part, quits the act, stops needing acceptance, the collective defends against him. He's labeled sour, not just sad. He's seen as hazardous to the system. Bitter, not just let down. He's seen as risking everyone's comfort. Disconnected, not simply silent. He's blamed for rejecting collective dreams. Depressed, not simply thoughtful. He's said to be unwell for witnessing the truth beneath the mask. Therapy is suggested, not to help, but to remove the threat. The group hints he's broken, not because he harms, but because his clarity unsettles them. They treat him as the aberration, not because he's causing pain, but because he won't help prop up their fantasy. Why? He is the problem. If too many take up his vision, start questioning, seeing, preferring honesty, the entire construct crumbles. Our economy is built on manufactured demand to impress strangers. Our politics relies on choosing sides in a fixed game. Our religions rely on stories incompatible with reality. Social media survives on swapping real lives for approvals. If mass awakening emerged, collapse would follow. So, society immunizes itself, not through open hostility, but through seclusion and blame. The message is clear: perform or be left behind. Most see the threat, get scared, and fall back in line. This man doesn't. Acceptance at the price of authenticity doesn't appeal to him. Stage 8. When this man finally acknowledges he'll always exist outside the norm, freedom arrives, though it's a rough liberation. No longer haunted by others' approval, indifferent to their judgments, uninterested in performing for people who are themselves performing. This freedom carries heavy responsibility. With no one to blame, no scripts, no external rules, he becomes accountable for his entire life. His happiness, his ambition, his purpose, his meaning, everything now lies in his hands. He stops trying to impress those who never truly mattered. Their support depended on him staying the character they liked. He stopped seeking approval whose value was always empty, whose praise rewarded outgoing performance, not real character, whose critics only chastise his refusal to act. He stops living by rules he never chose, cultural ideas of success, family ideals, generational preferences. He discovers his real personality, not one created for attention, but the one that emerges unobserved, without an audience. His authentic morals, interests, wants, values, his own, not inherited. He chooses based on what fulfills him, not what is expected. Spends time on what brings him alive, not what earns applause. Lives as himself among a world of actors. And this genuine existence unsettles those trapped in the show. His very presence threatens everything they think is mandatory. Stage 9. Imagine his life now. He doesn't try to fit into a crowd that was always fiction. He doesn't twist himself to make sense to those living another reality. The rare souls who can appreciate his authenticity become true friends. Few, but true. The ones who have also awakened, or who always valued genuineness, form his small inner circle. Depth rises over quantity. He builds around what matters deeply, perhaps creative work that doesn't pay, but inspires. Maybe relationships that are messy, complicated, yet honest. Causes that truly help, not just bolster his reputation. The joys he finds may seem unimpressive to others, but they are real. He speaks his mind, not for shock, but because falsehood is intolerable now. Even discomfort is easier than pretending. His inner compass, not outer rules, now guides him. He seeks nourishment, not resume items in relationships. His work reflects his true ideals, not just money. His life makes sense to him, regardless of anyone else. Is he solitary? At times. But it's not the loneliness of being surrounded by people who never actually know him. It's not the emptiness of being praised for someone he isn't. It's a clean solitude. Truth is company enough. And strangely, it's better than feigned happiness while suffering inside. Better than caring about nothing. Better than living by borrowed dreams. Better than bartering selfhood for approval. He found what most never do, his real self. Not the most likable version, not the parent-pleasing version, not the socially approved version. The authentic, flawed, complicated version. And for once, he actually enjoys that person. Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Most never examine themselves. He did. Here's the gritty lesson. Once you see through the collective show, retreat isn't possible. The strings can't be ignored. The truth can't be unlearned. Comforting blindness won't return. The one who sees through illusions becomes an outcast for life. He trades comfort for honesty, shared fantasy for solitude with reality. Yet exile is both protection and reward. It shields him from suppressing his real wants, living someone else's version of joy, missing out on true existence. Chasing hollow victories and fake closeness is behind him. The person who sees through society can never go back, but he gains something far deeper. He belongs truly to himself. Maybe that's the only belonging that ever counted, not group acceptance or herd membership or crowd approval, but self-respect, true self-knowledge, honest self-acceptance. The last and most important thing, he lives and chooses with authenticity. He is no actor in another's play, but the writer of his own. He isn't drifting through a scripted life, but finally awake. The question is, are you prepared to see what's real? Is the trade of comfort for truth something you can tolerate? Because once the strings are exposed, the show ends. Truth is addictive. Lies start to hurt. Once awakened, sleep is impossible. The decision lasts forever. If this narrative resonates, if these insights sound familiar, if you too feel cast out from a confusing world, you're not alone. You're simply awake among the sleepwalkers. And that is both punishment and blessing. Painful, lonely, hard, yes, but also beautiful, true, and unfiltered. Leave your comment. What shattered the illusion for you? When did you spot the performance? Which societal script have you stopped believing? Share this only with someone who is truly ready to awaken. This journey can't be undone.